أهلا بيكم. النهاردة هنغوص في حتة مهمة قوي، يعني لحظة فارقة في حياة بيب من توقعات عظيمة. المشهد بيبدأ ليلة سبت في حانة اسمها الثلاثة برجمين المريحين. الناس قاعدة وفي واحد اسمه السيد ووبسل بيقرأ بصوت عالي حكاية قضية قتل مشهورة،
والأجواء كانت يعني مريحة والناس كلها منسجمة جدا مع قراءة ووبسل الدرامية دي.
بالظبط، هو كان عايش الدور بقى، يقلد صوت الضحية والقاتل والشهود، والناس كلها وصلت معاه بحماس كده لقرار
قتل عمد،
كأنهم هيئة محلفين بجد قاعدين في الحانة.
فعلا
المشهد ده بيوري قد ايه الحماس الجماعي ده ممكن يخلي الناس تستعجل في الحكم، يعني قبل ما يسمعوا الصورة كاملة.
تمام. وهنا بقى بتيجي نقطة التحول.
بيدخل فجأة راجل غريب شكله كده مش عاجبه الوضع خالص، بيبص للناس بازدراء. ده المحامي جيجرز،
ودخلته دي يعني غيرت مود المكان كله، بقى فيه توتر كده.
راح مواجه ووبسل والمجموعة كلها بسخرية كده وسألهم انتوا ازاي متأكدين قوي كده من إدانة الراجل ده؟ وهنا جيجرز ضرب في نقطة مهمة جدا، فكرهم بمبدأ قانوني أساسي: المتهم بريء حتى تثبت إدانته.
والأهم بقى إنه كشف ووبسل على حقيقته، يعني وضح له إنه حتى مفهمش الخبر اللي بيقراه كويس.
إزاي يعني؟
لأن الخبر نفسه كان بيقول إن المتهم استخدم حقه في الدفاع بناء على نصيحة محامي. يعني ووبسل كان بيقرأ ومش فاهم اللي بيقراه.
يا موقف محرج جدا لووبسل قدام الناس كلها. أكيد
طبعا. جيجرز وبخه فعلا وقال له ان تفكيره السطحي ده وحكمه المسبق ده بيخليه خطر لو هو شخصيا بقى محلف في محاكمة حقيقية.
نقطة قوية جدا بصراحة، فكرة اننا نحكم على حد من غير ما نسمع دافعه او القصة كاملة منه خطيرة قوي.
بالظبط، بتوضح قد ايه الرأي العام لما بيتسرع ممكن يبقى مشكلة. المهم، بعد ما جيجرز فرض منطقته وسيطر على الموقف، راح مغير الموضوع خالص. سأل على الحداد جو جارجري وتلميذه بيب.
وهنا بقى بيب يعني مخه اشتغل، افتكر ان الراجل ده جيجرز شافه قبل كده.
عند مين؟ الأنسة هافشام، الشخصية الغريبة دي.
ودي طبعا مش صدفة، يعني أكيد ليها معنى في القصة.
أكيد بتربط جيجرز بالأنسة هافشام في دماغ بيب، ويمكن في دماغنا إحنا كمان كقراء أو مستمعين. بتحط بذرة شك كده أو توقع.
وبعدين الأحداث بتتنقل لبيت جو. جيجرز بيطلب يتكلم معاهم على انفراد بعيد عن الحانة والناس،
وهناك بيقدم نفسه: أنا جيجرز، محامي من لندن، وعندي مهمة خاصة ليكم. أنا مجرد وسيط فيها على فكرة. كلامه مباشر وعملي جدا. وهنا بقى بتيجي القنبلة، المفاجأة الكبيرة. بيقول لبيب: أنت بقى عندك توقعات عظيمة، great expectations، يعني ثروة كبيرة جاية في الطريق.
بالظبط. وعشان كده جيجرز بيعرض على جو انه يحرر بيب من عقد التدريب اللي بينهم.
وهنا رد فعل جو الصراحة مؤثر جدا ونبيل قوي.
فعلا رفض ياخد اي فلوس او تعويض مقابل انه يتخلى عن بيب. قال انا مش عايز فلوس عشان خسرت الصبي.
لفتة جميلة قوي، يعني بتتناقض تماما مع نظرة جيجرز المتشككة شوية في الناس وطمعهم. جيجرز نفسه كأنه استغرب،
لدرجة انه حذر جو. قالوا المثل الإنجليزي brag is a good dog but hold fast is better، يعني الكلام حلو بس الأضمن تمسك في اللي في إيدك، كأنه بيقول له هتندم على كرمك ده بعدين.
تمام. وبعدين جيجرز يشرح بقى تفاصيل التوقعات دي.
باب لازم يسيب حياته القديمة فوراً، يروح لندن يتربى تربية جنتلمان. جيجرز هو الوصي عليه، وفي فلوس كفاية لتكاليف تعليمه وحياته جديدة وكل حاجة.
بس في شروط صارمة وغريبة شوية الصراحة.
أول شرط لازم يفضل اسمه بيب، ما ينفعش يغيره.
والشرط التاني والأهم يمكن إن هوية الشخص اللي هيورثه الفلوس دي، المتبرع السخي ده، لازم تفضل سر مطلق.
محدش يعرف مين هو لحد ما الشخص ده نفسه يقرر يكشف عن هويته، وممنوع منعا باتا على بيب إنه يحاول حتى يدور أو يسأل مين ده. غريبة قوي السرية دي كلها.
السرية دي هي بقى اللي بتحرك الأحداث، وبعد كده بتخلق غموض وبتخلي بيب يفترض حاجات،
زي إنه يفتكر إن الأنسة هافشام هي المتبرعة بتاعته.
بالظبط. وخصوصا لما جيجرز يقترح اسم ماثيو باكيت كمدرس لبيب، وده قريب للأنسة هافشام، فبيب بيربط الخيوط دي في دماغه.
بيب طبعا كان في حالة يعني مزيج من الصدمة والفرحة الرهيبة، وافق على كل الشروط فوراً.
أكيد دي فرصة عمره زي ما بيقولوا.
استلم 20 جنيه عشان يشتري هدوم جديدة، والمفروض يسافر لندن خلال أسبوع واحد بس.
ومشهد وداع جو ليه مؤثر قوي. جو بيرجع يأكد تاني إنه مش عايز أي فلوس مقابل الواد الصغير، وده بيخلي جو الطيب للحظة كده يتنرفز من أسلوب جاجرز الجاف وهو بيتكلم عن الفلوس.
وبس جاجرز يمشي بنشوف بقى مشاعر بيب الحقيقية عاملة ازاي.
مشاعر متلخبطة جدا. من ناحية طاير من الفرحة بمستقبله الجديد وإنه هيبقى جنتلمان ومش عارف إيه،
ومن ناحية تانية بيبدأ يحس بالذنب ويمكن بالخجل كمان من بيئته القديمة، من جو وبيلي دي بالذات أقرب ناس ليه.
فعلا نظرته ليهم والحياته البسيطة القديمة بدأت تتغير. للأسف بدأ يحس إنه أحسن منهم شوية،
وبيحس بعدم راحة معاهم وكأن اهتمامهم بيه بقى يحرجه. دي ملاحظة حزينة جدا في آخر المشهد ده.
بيب نفسه بيلاحظ إن أول ليلة ليه وهو عنده الثروة المشرقة دي كانت أكتر ليلة حس فيها بالوحدة في حياته.
تحول كبير ومفاجئ جدا في حياته، من صبي حداد بسيط لشاب عنده توقعات عظيمة. تمام، وده بيوصلنا للسؤال الأخير بقى اللي ممكن نسيبه للمستمعين يفكروا فيه. إزاي النقلة المفاجئة دي في الفلوس والمكانة ممكن تغير مش بس ظروف الواحد الخارجية، لكن كمان تغير جوهره من جوه وعلاقاته بالناس اللي حواليه؟
بالظبط. وهل الثمن اللي بندفعه عشان نرتقي اجتماعيا ده بيستاهل دايما إننا نضحي بجذورنا وبالناس الحقيقية في حياتنا؟ نقطة فعلا تستحق إن الواحد يقف عندها ويفكر.
Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we take the sources you're interested in and, well, really dig into them, pull out the key stuff for you.
Exactly. We know you want to get the main ideas efficiently. You like things clear and, enjoy those aha moments without getting swamped in detail.
Today, we're diving into a giant of English lit, Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. Specifically, you wanted to look at chapter 18.
Chapter 18. A huge turning point. This is where the lawyer, Mr. Jaggers, shows up and basically flips Pip's entire world upside down with some pretty staggering news.
Absolutely. So the text of this chapter, that's our source and our mission. To really unpack what happens the moment Jaggers walks in, the effect on Pip, on Joe, Biddy, everyone around him.
And what it starts to tell us about expectations, social climbing, even the legal system as Dickens saw it. It's packed.
It really is. A massive shift for Pip. And Jaggers himself is just such an intriguing character right from the get-go.
He is. And, before Jaggers even drops the main news about the Great Expectations, there's that fantastic scene at the Three Jolly Bargemen pub. It kind of sets the mood, I think.
Oh, definitely. It's Saturday night, the local pub. Right. And Dickens paints this amazing picture.
You've got Mr. Wopsle holding court, right? Dramatically reading a newspaper story about a murder trial.
He's not just reading it, is he? He's acting it out. All the parts.
Yeah, completely. Dickens gives us those brilliant little details. Wopsle groaning like the victim, then booming like the murderer, doing the voices for the doctors, the turnpike keeper.
The whole pub is hanging on his every word. It's their evening's entertainment, this grim story.
Yeah, which is interesting in itself, isn't it? The sort of public fascination with crime and spectacle. Dickens might be subtly commenting on that, on how easily people are swayed.
It does feel a bit voyeuristic, maybe. Watching tragedy is fun. And then, boom, Jaggers appears. Just there, leaning against the furniture.
Observing it all with this look of, contempt, really, biting his finger. It's immediately quite a striking, maybe ominous image.
And he doesn't wait long to jump in, does he? Wopsle finishes. Everyone agrees it's willful murder.
And Jaggers immediately cuts in. He asks Wopsle about a basic legal principle, the presumption of innocence. Innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah, and he's quite forceful about it. He pins Wopsle down, almost literally pointing at him, biting that finger again. Very intense.
He really hammers the point. He asks, do you know that none of these witnesses have yet been cross-examined? He pushes Wopsle on how anyone can judge guilt without hearing the other side, without that cross-examination.
He repeats the question too, doesn't give Wopsle an easy out.
No. And you see the mood in the pub shift.
Yeah.
First, they're all with Wopsle enjoying the show. Then under Jaggers' questioning, they start thinking Wopsle's maybe not being entirely straight, that he's full of subterfuge, as Dickens puts it.
It happens really quickly. Their opinion just plummets.
Which is exactly Jaggers' point, isn't it? How dangerous it is to make up your mind based on, a performance, essentially. On incomplete information.
He even says something about Wopsle potentially ending up on a jury with his mind already made up.
Precisely. It's a sharp critique of jumping to conclusions, especially when it comes to the law. So this whole pub scene, it's not just local color, it establishes Jaggers' character brilliantly.
Okay, right. So it sets him up as this Sharp, legalistic mind, suspicious of appearances. It's great foreshadowing for why he's the one bringing this news to Pip.
Exactly. And then the focus shifts. Jaggers asks for Joe Gargery and Pip. He follows them back to Joe's house.
Into the state parlor, all candlelit.
Yeah.
Very atmospheric.
And Jaggers gets straight to it. London lawyer. Unusual business. He makes it clear the offer isn't his idea, which adds a layer of mystery right away.
Then the offer to release Pip from his apprenticeship with Joe.
And Joe's reaction is just perfect, Joe. Totally selfless. Jaggers asks if he wants compensation, and Joe just gives this immediate, firm no.
Says so much about him. His love for Pip is just unconditional, no thought of personal gain.
Though you could wonder, maybe, if Joe was a bit too quick. Could he have secured something more for Pip? But that wouldn't be Joe, would it?
No, it wouldn't. Then Jaggers comes out with that strange line about dogs. Bragg is a good dog, but Holdfast is a better. What's that about?
It's typical Jaggers, isn't it? Oblique, cryptic. It sounds like he's saying reliability, substance holdfast, is better than just showing off Bragg.
Okay, maybe hinting at the kind of superficial people Pip might meet later, compared to Joe's solid loyalty.
Could be. It's one of those lines you ponder, but then the main event, the reason he's there.
Pip, you have great expectations. He's going to inherit a handsome property. Just like that. Pip's life changes in an instant.
But with conditions. Very specific conditions.
Right. He must always be called Pip. Which seems odd, but maybe keeps him tied to his past somehow.
Maybe. And the really big one, the benefactor's identity is a total secret. Top secret. Pip cannot ask, cannot try to find out, cannot even speculate. The benefactor will reveal themselves when they choose.
That secrecy drives so much of the plot later, doesn't it? It lets Pip's imagination run wild.
Absolutely. And it causes all sorts of problems for him. Jaggers also explains the money side funds for education, living expenses. Jaggers is the guardian, but he's paid to be.
And even delivering this amazing news, Jaggers is still kind of intimidating, still pointing that finger, keeping Pip off balance.
Yes, there's no warmth there. It's strictly business, even slightly suspicious business.
So Pip, how does he react? He must be floored.
Completely, utterly overwhelmed. And his first thought, as you mentioned, is Miss Havisham. He thinks his wildest dreams about her helping him have actually come true.
It's an immediate assumption. Why do you think he jumps there so fast? What shaped that idea for him?
Well, she's the only wealthy, eccentric person he really knows who's shown any interest in his advancement, however strange her motives seemed. It's the most logical connection in his limited world.
Makes sense. And then things move fast. Jaggers tells him to get new clothes.
Gives him 20 guineas, a huge sum. Says he needs to be ready to leave in a week. It's all happening very suddenly.
But the emotional core shifts back to Joe, I think. Dickens' description of him is that steam hammer, powerful but gentle.
Oh, that's such a wonderful image. And Joe's blessing, telling Pip he hopes he's happy and free. It's heartbreaking, really.
He talks about losing the little child he worked alongside at the forge. You really feel the depth of their connection.
You do. And Joe's integrity again, when Jaggers offers money for losing Pip's apprenticeship, Joe just refuses, flat out. Can't be paid for that relationship.
It makes Jaggers' comment afterwards even harsher, calling Joe a village idiot and Pip his keeper.
It's brutal. It shows the massive social gap, Jaggers' cold view of the world. It's like Dickens is putting up a little warning flag right there about the world Pip's entering.
Yeah, definitely. Jaggers then gives the final instructions, travel to London, his address.
And emphasizes again that he's just the agent. He takes no personal stance on this trust. It's purely transactional for him.
But Pip does have the presence of mind to ask if he can say goodbye to people he knows. A little glimpse of the old Pip.
It is a small moment of courtesy before he's swept away. Which leads us to that final section of the chapter, after Jaggers leaves.
Yeah, the mood in the house is heavy. Silence. Pip can't even look at Joe properly.
You can feel the change, the distance already starting. It's Pip who asks Joe to tell Biddy the news.
And when Joe and Biddy congratulate him, Pip senses some sadness there, and he actually kind of resents it, which is telling.
It is. He's already starting to feel separate. Then he insists on the secrecy about the benefactor.
And Joe and Biddy, being Joe and Biddy, promise faithfully. Joe says he'll be equally particular, so loyal.
Bless him. And there's that little bit of humor with Biddy trying and failing to explain it all to Pip's sister, who just doesn't get it.
But the key contrast at the end is Pip's feeling, isn't it? Joe and Biddy seem to be adjusting, maybe finding some peace with it.
While Pip feels increasingly gloomy, dissatisfied, maybe even with himself already, he sees Joe and Biddy talking outside late at night. Joe's smoking his pipe for comfort.
And Pip's alone in his room, his first night of these bright fortunes, and he feels uneasy, lonely.
Yeah, that image of the smoke from Joe's pipe drifting up, like a connection he's already losing. A silent blessing, perhaps, but also a farewell.
So let's wrap this up. We've gone through the chapter pretty thoroughly. What are the big takeaways for you, for our listener?
Well, first, just the sheer impact of Jaggers walking in. That sudden dramatic news. Pip's life has changed forever in, an hour?
Yeah.
Then you see these huge themes laid out right away. Expectations, obviously, the allure, but also the potential danger of moving up socially.
And that contrast between law in theory,
That's
via
right.
the pub discussion, and law in practice, embodied by the cynical Jaggers.
Definitely. And underpinning it all is the incredible bond between Pip and Joe and Biddy. Their simple goodness set against this sudden, complicated fortune.
It absolutely sets the stage for Pip's whole journey, doesn't it? It kicks off everything that follows.
It really does. And maybe the thought to leave you with is this. What is the real price of great expectations? Pip's aiming to become a gentleman. What will he gain? But maybe more importantly, what will he lose? What does this first encounter, the secrecy, Jaggers' manner, what does it hint about the true nature of this fortune and the person behind it?
Lots to think about there. A powerful start to Pip's transformation and a fantastic chapter to dive into.